The dust on Mars never truly settles. Every storm stirs the planet's forgotten past, spinning red clouds that veil the truth beneath. Each gust reshapes the surface, erasing the traces of what came before, as if the planet itself resists being understood. For generations, humanity sent machines to its barren deserts, explorers made of metal and code, crawling across dunes in search of answers. They searched for water, for heat, for the faintest chemical whisper of life. Each mission brought us closer, and yet, farther, revealing more questions than certainty. Then came Horizon 9, humanity's most advanced probe, built to sense what no eye could see. It could trace the movement of atoms, the tremor of buried magnetic fields, the quiet heartbeat of a silent world. When Horizon 9 began its survey of a region known as Elysium Planitia, all seemed ordinary, until it wasn't. A reading appeared that broke every model. A perfect spiral carved into the bedrock, symmetrical, mathematical, intentional. Not wind. Not erosion. Something designed. As data streamed in, one pattern emerged again and again, pulses, rhythmic and deliberate. It wasn't background radiation. It wasn't noise. It was a signal. For 47 seconds, the probe received what could only be described as a voice, a repeating pulse of energy, like a heartbeat echoing from beneath the planet's crust. Then silence. The feed dissolved into static. Telemetry died. Horizon 9 was gone. NASA's official statement called it a technical malfunction, but those who saw the raw data knew otherwise. The final transmission encoded a geometric ratio, the same pattern that defines galaxies, hurricanes, DNA, and seashells on Earth. The spiral of creation itself. Something beneath Mars had spoken. Weeks passed. Mars turned quietly under the sun. But the data Horizon 9 sent home did not fade. Hidden deep within the static was a repeating structure, a signal that pulsed every 19 hours, steady and exact, as if the planet itself was breathing. A secret program was formed, Project Siren. 12 scientists were chosen to decode the phenomenon. They expected geological interference or magnetic storms. Instead, they found order and intent. When the signal was converted into light frequencies, a pattern emerged, the same spiral Horizon 9 saw in the dust. It was not a coincidence. It was communication. Then, one night, the signal changed. It was no longer looping. It was responding. Earth transmitted a controlled test pulse, and the frequency shifted, acknowledging receipt. Mars was listening. The exchange continued, rhythm by rhythm, a dialogue made not of words, but energy. Dr. Alara Voss was the first to realize, this isn't transmission, it's awareness. Moments later, satellites recorded magnetic fluctuations around Mars. A faint crimson aurora shimmered along its equator, glowing for 7 minutes before vanishing. And then, seismic sensors detected movement. The spiral had grown, kilometers wide, glimmering faintly beneath the soil. Something metallic was rising. Smooth. Geometric. Alive. It distorted nearby magnetic fields, amplifying the signal that now filled every receiver on Earth. A final pulse came through, clear, deliberate, unmistakable. 2 words. We remember. Fear spread through Project Siren. Some called it proof of ancient life. Others believed it was something far older, an intelligence woven into the planet itself. Then Earth began to react. Magnetic fields wavered. Animals shifted migration paths. Even Earth's natural resonance, its electromagnetic heartbeat, began sinking to Mars. The two worlds were no longer separate. They were resonating, locked in a pattern that spanned the solar system. Mars wasn't dead. It was awakening. And through that awakening, something beyond life itself had reached across the void, connecting planets, rewriting silence into song. A pulse that began beneath a crimson desert was now echoing between worlds. Each cycle of the signal grew stronger, resonating through Earth's ionosphere, threading invisible lines of energy between the two worlds like chords of an ancient instrument. At first, the changes were subtle. Magnetometers fluctuated. Satellites glitched for seconds at a time. Whispers of static appeared in deep space communications, not noise but order, perfectly timed. Then came the synchronization. Every 19 hours, Earth's magnetic field pulsed in harmony with Mars. Not randomly. Not as interference. But as resonance, two planets sharing the same heartbeat. Project Siren's scientists called it the bridge. To others, it was the awakening. Whatever it was, the rhythm carried purpose. Through layers of dust, through the thin Martian air, the universe seemed to be humming, a song older than language itself. When analyzed through quantum harmonic imaging, the pulse formed patterns, spirals of exquisite precision. The same fractal geometry found in galaxies, in hurricanes, in DNA, in seashells along Earth's shores. It was as if creation itself had chosen this moment to reveal its signature, through the breath of two worlds. But what was breathing? Dr. Alara Voss watched the data cascade across her screen. Each pulse corresponded with faint fluctuations in Mars' thin atmosphere, vibrations so exact they defied randomness. It wasn't just dust shifting in the wind. Something beneath the planet's crust was answering back. Seismic instruments confirmed it, a movement miles underground. Vast structures, metallic, crystalline, responding to each pulse, amplifying it. As if a great machine buried in time were slowly waking from hibernation. Weeks passed. The skies above remained silent, but in orbit, strange things began to happen. Satellites crossing Mars' electromagnetic shadow flickered with light, their panels glowing faintly as if brushed by an unseen current. Charged particles formed intricate trails behind them, glowing filaments, alive with energy. For the first time, humanity realized the truth. We were no longer the observers. Mars was observing us. When Earth transmitted a controlled reply, a harmonic echo encoded in light, the response came instantly. The frequency shifted. Adapted. Learned. It wasn't mimicry. It was understanding. Dr. Voss whispered, "This isn't communication, it's consciousness." And as the days passed, that consciousness began to show intention. The returning signals grew richer, carrying harmonics hidden in the spectrum of visible light. When decoded, they revealed images. Maps, outlines, curves that matched both Martian and terrestrial topography, connected by luminous threads stretching across the void. Not just a message. A design. A map written in light and energy. Then, from its silent post beyond the moon, the James Webb Space Telescope captured something unimaginable. A faint ribbon of charged particles linking Earth and Mars, invisible to the naked eye, yet pulsing with perfect rhythm. A bridge not of matter, but of energy sustained by will. Every living thing began to sense it. Migrating birds altered their paths. Whales sang in tones matching the Martian pulse. Even the northern lights shimmered in shades of red, a crimson aurora never before seen in recorded history. Nature itself had joined the conversation. As the resonance grew, so did the data. Within the signal was something impossible, a pattern mirroring the neural rhythms of a human brain. Mars wasn't just reacting. It was thinking. Dreaming. Remembering. Then came the message, not in words, but in rhythm and ratio. When converted to audio, the frequencies formed a pattern identical to a human heartbeat. And beneath it, two tones repeating in perfect unity. When translated through deep learning linguistic models, the result was simple and devastatingly profound. We remember. The phrase echoed across the scientific world. Governments denied it. Media dismissed it. But those who saw the raw data, those who heard the pulse, knew it was real. And it changed everything. Because hidden in that message was not a threat, but a mirror. It didn't speak of invasion or discovery, it spoke of memory. Of something that had waited for us to wake. Mars was no longer a silent world of dust and stone. It had become a reflection, a vast consciousness shaped by time and silence, whispering to us in the universal tongue of energy and pattern. Dr. Voss looked up from the data one final time and said, "Maybe we were never alone. Maybe we were just waiting to hear the right frequency." The resonance continued. Across millions of kilometers, light and magnetism wove an invisible thread through the darkness, a cosmic heartbeat connecting two worlds. And somewhere, buried deep beneath the Martian crust, something vast and ancient stirred, listening still. Mars was awake. And through its awakening, humanity had crossed a threshold. We were no longer looking outward for life, we were part of it. The bridge was real. And somewhere beyond both worlds, the universe had finally begun to speak.